Look at this, guys. Qi price up 3,000% over past year for a reason, and here is why. Most people who try DeFi lending run into the same wall. Gas fees quietly eat your yield, and if you're not a whale, a lot of platforms just don't feel worth it. You deposit a small amount, pay a few bucks in fees, and suddenly that passive income looks pretty weak. Today, I want to show you a different approach with QIElend on the Qi blockchain and how the Qi wallet makes the whole thing feel more like using a normal fintech app than wrestling with crypto infrastructure. Now let's start with the basics. To use QIElend, you first grab the Qi wallet. It's available on Chrome, iOS, and Android, and you can either create a new wallet or import an existing one. Once you're in, you fund it with supported assets. The easiest path in a lot of regions is using Changelly directly inside the Qi wallet where available. That lets you buy crypto and get it onto the Qi chain without juggling multiple sites. Now, if you already hold assets on other chains, you can also bridge them over using the official Qi bridge or for Ethereum or BNB into their wrapped versions on Qi. Now on QIElend, you'll mainly see assets like wrapped Qi, QUSDC, wrapped Ethereum, and wrapped BNB. Now QUSDC is just normal USDC that's been bridged to run the low-fee Qi network, obviously. You can always bridge it back to USDC and off-ramp on any exchange, so you're not locked in. And one key detail that trips people up on platforms is compatibility. Tokens need to be on the same network to work together. QIElend solves that by keeping it super simple. You bridge to the Qi chain, you get the Qi versions like QUSDC or wrapped Qi, and then everything just works inside that ecosystem. There's even a dedicated stablecoin bridge site to move USDC into QUSDC if that's your go-to asset. So once your Qi wallet has funds on the Qi chain and a tiny bit of Qi for gas, you head over to the QIElend app and connect your wallet. The interface feels familiar if you've used Aave or similar platforms. You pick your market, choose an asset, and then either supply or borrow. Now for this walkthrough, I supplied just over $5 worth of QUSDC to show you guys how it works for smaller users. Now the flow is super straightforward. Enter the amount, confirm, and the transaction hits finality in about a second. You get a confirmation, your APY is visible, and your position appears in the dashboard itself. What stood out to me was the gas fee. On Qi, fees are near zero, so even a tiny test deposit actually makes sense. You're not losing a chunk of your capital every single time you interact with the protocol, which is a huge difference from doing small deposits on Ethereum. The same thing applies on the borrowing side. You can supply QUSDC, then borrow against it in assets like wrapped Qi if you want to increase your exposure. A common move is to borrow QUSDC at a low rate and use it to buy more Qi, effectively increasing your position size without adding new capital. It's the kind of strategy that's usually reserved for people with big balances because of fees, but here it's realistic for smaller portfolios too. And that's really where QIElend differentiates itself from something like Aave. Aave is powerful, but on Ethereum, gas fees can easily price out users who only want to move $10 or $50 at a time. Every extra interaction eats into your returns. QIElend is built on the Qi chain with almost zero gas fees and roughly 1 second finality, so it's optimized for frequent, smaller interactions. You actually keep more of what you earn, if you understand what I'm saying. This focus makes a big difference in emerging markets. QIElend is deliberately targeting retail users and regions like Africa, where micro DeFi participation actually matters. If you're trying to lend or borrow in smaller chunks, you need low fees and fast confirmation, or the math just doesn't work. Here, it does. Of course, the trade-off is that QIElend is still in an early growth phase compared to giants like Aave. Liquidity is growing and not massive yet, and the ecosystem is still being built on. But that's also where some of the upside is. The Qi chain has its own native wallet, its own DEX called QDEX, which works like Uniswap for the Qi network, bridges for cross-chain wrapped assets, and they run 4 hackathons every single year, attracting around 10,000 developers annually. That kind of developer activity is what usually drives new dApps and new yield opportunities. So back inside the Qi wallet, you can already see how that ecosystem is taking shape. Beyond that, just holding tokens, you can connect to DeFi apps like QIElend, QDEX, NFT games, and QBots.trade. And there are already around 360 dApps, I believe, in the Qi ecosystem. So gas fees stay near zero, and you can do swaps directly in the wallet thanks to the Changelly integration where it's supported. That means you can go from fiat or another crypto into Qi chain assets, then into QIElend without a maze of extra steps. There's also a strong push toward real-world usability. The wallet integrates Zapper to let users scan and pay in 35,000 stores, currently available in South Africa. And on top of that, Qi has been added integrations with Alchemy Pay, Changelly, ChangeNow, Now Payments, Now Wallet, and Guardarian, which even has a banking license. And all of this points towards an ecosystem that's trying to bridge traditional finance, payments, and DeFi rather than just exist as a speculative chain. One of the more interesting pieces rolling out is Qi Pass. This lives through the Qi wallet and gives you a single ID for all crypto and a single login for all exchanges. It uses multi-chain domains with a personalized handle instead of a long 0 times file address, and it's built around decentralized ID with a partner called Subsum inside, actually issuing verifiable credentials. And basically think of it like a KYC verified Google sign-in, but for crypto, where you actually own your own data. If it gains traction, it can make onboarding to exchanges and dApps so much smoother. Now, there's still normal caveats. Because QIElend and the Qi chain are earlier stage, you don't have the same years of battle testing as Ethereum blue chips, and liquidity pools are still growing. So if you're used to huge depth and every token under the sun, this will feel more focused. But the trade you get in return is speed, cost, and an ecosystem built around everyday usability. The Qi token itself has climbed about 30 times over the past year, which is definitely a sign that people are paying attention to what's being built there. So, if you want to try it yourself, the barrier to entry is intentionally low. Download the Qi wallet, bridge or buy a small amount of assets, keep a bit of Qi for gas, then head to QIElend and supply or borrow from as little as $5. Watch how fast the transaction confirms actually, how little you pay in fees, and how your position shows up with a clear APY in the dashboard. I'll leave all the official links in the description down below so that you can, for yourself, check out QIElend, the Qi wallet, the bridges, and the Explorer for your own proof. And if you're interested in low-fee DeFi, especially for smaller portfolios or emerging markets, this is definitely a project worth watching. Hit the link below to explore QIElend and the Qi wallet, and if you want more deep dives into AI, blockchain, and real tools you can actually use, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you definitely don't miss the next one.